Pelosi is pissed. Never thought MSNBC would ask her this question. By that conservative girl, Politics U.S. News for MadWorldNews.com. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi sat down with MSNBC's A.M. Joy on Sunday to discuss Democratic hopes of retaking a majority in Congress in the midterms. MSNBC is typically one of the Democratic Party's biggest backers, so Pelosi certainly wasn't expecting a host to ask her this question. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi was visibly stunned on Sunday morning during an interview on MSNBC's A.M. Joy when host Jonathan Capehart asked her point blank, what does the Democratic Party stand for besides obstructing President Donald Trump and his agenda? Very excellent question. Americans nationwide have come to wonder the same thing, but still, Capehart's question was a departure from MSNBC's typical routine of diligently towing the Democratic Party line. Let's get into the midterm elections, he started. According to the Daily Caller, Democrats are hoping to reclaim the majority of the House of Representatives, which they lost in the 2010 midterm elections. There are a lot of people out there, particularly Democrats, who are saying the Democrats have no message. The Democrats, they don't know what they're for. They know they're against President Trump, but they don't know what they're for. Let's take a listen. Well, in this unexpected confrontation, it caught Pelosi totally off guard and left her visibly stunned. Democrats are for the people. Yeah, let's take a look.
Actions.
Well, let's get into the midterm elections. Yes. Democrats are hoping to reclaim the majority in the House of Representatives, which they lost in the 2010 midterm elections. There are a lot of people out there, particularly Democrats, who are saying the Democrats have no message. The Democrats, they don't know what they're for. They know they're against President Trump, but they don't know what they're for. Is that a true statement? And if it's not, what are Democrats for?
Democrats are for the people.
Yeah,
what
right.
does that mean?
Democrats are for the people. It means we are for the people, having lower health care costs, reducing the cost of prescription drugs. Democrats are for bigger paychecks by building the infrastructure of America, creating good-paying jobs.
You're right.
Democrats are for making government work by reducing the role of big, dark money in politics. All of these are connected because the
big dark money in politics, they're the number one big dark money in politics.
Of corruption, cronyism, and incompetence.
You're describing the Democratic Party, Nancy.
That is prevalent in this Congress and this administration impedes the ability for us to raise the minimum wage, to clean the air, to reduce the cost of prescription drugs. So we have to be...
You have to be taxed up the wazoo for all what she's saying.
We are unified in a message. This came from the members, and it is being road tested now in August as we go forward. So I'm very proud of David Cicilline, Sherry Bustos, and Hakeem Jeffries, who honchoed all of this. Mm-hmm. And it's not that we don't know what we stand for, it's how do we convey the message. And every day we have a fight. What we have to do is brag about it more. I was with Congresswoman Anita Lowy, our top Democrat on the Appropriations Committee yesterday, and we were talking about how 40 times in the last appropriations bill, the Democrats had to fight back some nasty stuff the Republicans had in there that undermined our role to meet the needs of the American people, whether it's the air our children breathe, the education that they are entitled to, the opportunities for their families. So what we have to do, and campaigns give us that opportunity, is give clarity to the difference between Democrats and Republicans, and it's vast. You only need look at the budget. The budget is the statement of our values. Mm-hmm. What's important to a nation should be reflected in how we allocate our resources. What do the Republicans do? They have a scam, a tax scam that gives takes us $2 trillion in debt, stealing from our children's future, putting us deeply in debt, and then the president comes out with a budget that says we're going to take $2 trillion from Medicare and Medicaid. So just look, we have to make sure that people see that distinction, and the opportunity is vast. People are responding. We intend to win this election.
You used a phrase, culture of corruption.
Yeah.
I had a bit of a deja vu moment.
That's right.
Because culture of corruption, it was sort of the mantra in the 2006 midterm campaign when the Democrats retook the House of Representatives. Compare the culture of corruption that Democrats were campaigning against in 2006 versus the culture of corruption that Democrats are campaigning against in 2018.
Well, again, then and now, that was part of our message. At the time, we were also fighting President Bush's attempt to privatize Social Security. So that was our main theme. And then the culture of corruption, because people were being indicted and subpoenaed and the rest.
You talking about the Democrats?
And then along came Katrina, where you had cronyism, somebody's college roommate heading up FEMA, incompetence, and a man-made disaster, a natural disaster became exacerbated.
A man-made disaster. Did you hear that? She slipped up. What the hell did she say there? Wow.
So that was our main theme. And then the culture of corruption, because people were being indicted and subpoenaed and the rest. And then along came Katrina, where you had cronyism, somebody's college roommate heading up FEMA, incompetence, and a man-made disaster, a natural disaster became exacerbated as a man-made disaster, and the president's numbers went down. We won the election. In this case, it's a very similar situation, except it's so much more into the executive branch, President Trump's cabinet and the rest. And every day, that culture of corruption, cronyism, and incompetence stands in the way of stopping the pollution of air, in fact, promoting it. The water our kids drink, safety of the food they eat.
Oh, just like the water in Michigan, Nancy, that's been going on since the Obama era. And notice that the host that's asking her the questions, which are like he's asking her difficult questions, he's like looking at her saying, what is she actually saying here? He doesn't seem convinced.
Stopping the increase in prescription drug prices, the list goes on. So there's a very clarity now in the obstacle that their culture of corruption is doing to impede better policy.
Right. Well, let's talk about a specific example of corruption. Congressman Chris Collins, here in New York, Republican, who was arrested. Talk about corruption for insider trading, among other things. There you see on the screen, he's worth his estimated net worth $66 million. What does it say to you that there's a member of Congress, Republican, who...
Oh, but no mention of Democrat corruption anyway. Bigger paychecks, yeah, right. She calls them crumbs. She wants you to be taxed up the wazoo to support all of this. Still, some news outlets had forecasted that the Democrats have a more than 50% chance of reclaiming their majority in the House. Well, they're delusional in the upcoming midterms. But remember, these same outlets projected Hillary Clinton would beat Donald Trump in a landslide. Judging from history, we're probably better off assuming that the opposite of their projections are true. Typically, after one political party takes the White House, the opposing party takes a majority in Congress during the subsequent midterm elections. But candidates backed by the president have also enjoyed overwhelming success, as we saw in the recent special elections. On the flip side, candidates backed by radical democratic socialists like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez lost, and lost miserably. Indeed, all of the signs suggest that the so-called blue wave Democrats insist is coming is actually non-existent. And I would say that blue wave, they're calling it, more like a blue puddle. That's what I say. Yeah, and she was just talking around in circles. Yet MSNBC has to talk about the Republican problems. How about all the Democrats that were arrested within the year, politicians, yeah, for their corruption. How about that? But yet they fail to mention that. But listen, people know what's going on. They know, they see them for who they are. They know what they're all about, and people are running away and they're not voting. And the star of the Democratic Party, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, as you can see, anybody she endorsed lost. So what does that tell you if that's their star, right? Can you imagine what a mess the Democrats are? And Nancy Pelosi knows it. And Hillary Clinton knows it. And Chucky Boy crying Schumer knows it. And they all know they're going down the tubes. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.